Before I start talking something about the heart, I would say a few words about the practice. You all must be well aware by now, those who are following my talks and a little bit about what I have written, that I have prescribed two basic forms of methods of self-inquiry, depending upon the type of seeker that you are. The first is for those who are more devotional types, more feeling oriented. For them, I had said that you feel love as your beingness as your love, and automatically that will be your attention will be drawn near the area of your chest at the heart. Now, this is for those who are devotional types. And the second grade of those are those who are more intellectual. They are more visual oriented. For them, I had said the last satsang which I had given was about looking at the void ahead of you and bringing the void slowly downwards into the area of chest. These two methods are prescribed. Two things are very common in this. The first is that there is continuous looking by way of sinking. And second thing is that sinking has to be done in the area of the heart. So two things are very common for both these forms of instruction. Now I had stressed looking by way of sinking because that is where real meditation takes place. It is not a looking by an ordinary mind. It is looking which goes beyond the mind. The more you sink, the better will be the looking. The better will be the meditation. The sooner the mind will die. And it has to be done in this area. So two things. Here the question about heart comes. When I gave this the last satsang, Matthew mailed me saying that there are basically three different kinds of heart. Where do I sink? Where are we supposed to sink? A very good question. He told me, in fact, he enlightened me that there is one, the left one, which is basically the physical heart is present there on the left side of your chest. The second is right in the middle of your chest. This is where the yogis practice pranayamas and concentration. It is called the Anahata Chakra. And the third is what Sri Ramana had said, that it is on the right side, that the I thought originates from the right side. So which of these three do we need to sink into? In my last satsang, this question was raised by Tim also. And that moment also, I had said only one thing, that we have to forget about left, right, and center completely. Same instructions hold true even today and always. The reason is, first of all, you have to understand that the object of your concentration of your meditation was never the heart. The object of your meditation was your beingness or your void, right? It was never heart. So you are only concentrating, meditating on the void. That is the object. Now, if I tell you that the object of your meditation was the heart, then the question about left, right, and center comes into play. The only instruction as far as the heart goes is that is a place where you need to sink, not even remain. You are supposed to sink there. One thing is very clear, that the object is beingness or the void, not the heart. What happens if we say that the right side holds prominence? As Sri Ramanaji says, that the right side has a basic significance, a very big significance. I will come to that later. There is definitely significance, but I will come to it in just some while. But during your meditation, if you are going to concentrate or pay attention to the right side or the left side or to the center, then it is not meditation. It becomes concentration on a certain point. And then you do not allow your mind to sink, because all the time you will be thinking, am I on the right side? Am I on the center? Am I on the middle? Am I on the left side? Your mind will only be thinking and sorting these things out. Oh, Ramanaji said right side. Why did I drift towards the left side? No. I need to go back to the right side. See, this is what happens when you are going to do attention on the heart area. Attention, focus, the object is the heart, but it is not the heart. So you go into free fall. In that area, you are falling unrestrictedly. That has to be very understood. So the only object is again I repeat, either the void or the beingness, and you sink, you allow yourself to go deep downwards, backwards, deep. That is what I call as sinking. Otherwise, sinking will be very difficult to achieve, because who's sorting left, right, center other than the mind only? Whereas in sinking, the mind is taken care of. You're not even remaining in one position. You're continuously going down, backwards. So this is my second point. You will realize that by dedicated practice, bringing the mind again and again to your beingness and the void, bringing them here to the area of the heart, in the area of the chest near the heart, you realize that sinking is made possible with dedicated practice, with patience, without really worrying about the result. You have to just worship. That is a center of worshipping, without any fruits of what is going to happen, what experience I'm going to get or not. You are just allowing to drift yourself downwards. Another thing which will help you to sink more is the compassion, the feeling of love towards all sentient beings. helping them at the time of their suffering, when they need you most, you will see that your happiness within is growing slowly and steadily. Automatically, you are spreading that love everywhere, like fragrance, you're spreading. And your inner world also is going to get lighten up. That will open that heart which I am talking about. Not the left, right, center heart. The heart. Just the heart. So as far as practice goes, this is what you have to do. Once uh, I read that a devotee asked Sri Ramana, where is the heart? You say right side heart is there. It is a source. So where is this heart? So Sri Ramanaji said this only, that where you address yourself as a first, that is here. You point fingers. When you point finger, you will know that it automatically goes here. When you say I go there, it automatically, the finger is pointed automatically here. The intuition tells you the heart. It does not see. Is it the left, right, or center? You automatically say, it's here. I am going there. I will see you soon. Whatever. When you address yourself as I, the fingers are pointed intuitively. Mind is not used there. Similarly, when you love, intuitively you will feel feelings here only. You will not feel any feelings of love generated anywhere else other than this area. That is why it has a providence. So heart is heart, right? Now we have to come to the central part also of today's satsang, which is there significance of what Sri Ramana said about the right side? Is there any significance about it? He said something like two fingers. I think Matthew wrote two fingers of the right of the chest. Of course, a big significance. If Sri Ramanaji says something, then it has to be significant. He's not going to just say it without any reason. So let us find out what that could be or what that is. In my experience, the significance of the right side is where bliss is experienced first. The bliss of pure beingness is experienced there. That is a state of Turiya. He is talking from that level, in that context. Highest state of Samadhi. This is where it first arises. In my experience of Turiya also, I recollect that there was a jerk. There is always a jerk on the right side of my heart. And with that jerk, fountains of bliss start to flow from that center. Fountains. That happens on the right side. Having arisen from there, it does not stay there. It spreads. It spreads from that center to the whole area, to the whole body, slowly, like waves and waves of bliss arising. Torrential bliss, torrential joy, unimagined, unexperienced, by human mind. That happens when you cross the state of void. With that jerk on the right side, joy erupts. Soon the whole body, every cell of the body is celebrating along with that joy. And soon, not only the body, space joins in the celebration. Entire space, entire universe. That is how the expansion of that center happens. That is how it happens. It flows away, up, up, up. There is an expanse. It is not limited to that side, the right side. No. There is no doubt that it is the source from where it arises, the pure beingness, the I amness, the joy. It arises from there. But you have to understand that it does not stay, it spreads. And therefore, when it spreads, how can you know the center? The center cannot be traced. It is so expansive. It becomes, it is overwhelming. It engulfs every part of the universe. It encompasses everything, pervades everywhere. That is how your experience of Turiya, the highest state of Samadhi, is experienced, recollected when you're back in the body awareness. As a memory, you come to know about all these things. So, you can say, you can recollect the source from where it arises. That is the right side. But there is no way, in my experience, I can say that you can point to a heart center, to a center, because of all these reasons. I cannot put in words. Words fail me if I am trying to explain. I hope you can understand through my feelings what I am trying to say here. But if I have to give you a slightly unorthodox example, please bear with me. Just to make some understanding, the source of sexual pleasure happens in the genitals. However, it does not stay there. During the act, it spreads to the whole body. The joy is experienced and participated by the entire body. Even though when we know that the source of pleasure is from those parts. No man says to a woman that his genitals have made love to her genitals. It never happens. He says he makes love to her. This is how it encompasses. This is how it is difficult for me to explain to you about what happens in the state of Turiya. But people have limited it by saying right side of the heart. How it is possible? It is a start. But soon it pervades everything. And there is no way, to my knowledge, where I can point a finger and say that this is where the center is. Arising, yes, but not the center. This is recollected by a Jnani, but not the center. To me, the heart center is completely unknown. It is the self itself. So again, I would conclude that we should not take words of present past masters and interpret it without understanding in which context that he has spoken about. Context, as Edgy said the other day, is everything. It is proven. So this short satsang was because I just wanted to make understand this importance of this particular topic. How we have to only focus on beingness and sync. Everything else, the significance we will come to know in time. Pranams.
Pranams, Rajivi.
Pranams.
Something that has come up in conversation over the last couple of days, you have stressed the beingness and to sink backward into the void.
Yes.
If we are not of the body, how can we have a backward or a forward?
Yes.
How can we sink backward into a void?
See,
why not just sink into the void?
No. Sink into the void, I am saying that there is a void ahead of you. Void is everywhere.
Okay.
Void is everywhere. Mm-hmm. Okay. First you have to understand, the first point is when you close your eyes, you see a void. It is for those people who are more visual oriented, I said again. So those who can see, they see the void ahead of them, right? Now when you bring the void downwards, backwards, downwards, that is toward the heart area, you sink from there. So you're sinking backwards only to the void. By sinking, you're going backwards only. Am I right? Is that your question?
I see where I see where you're going.
It is the same thing.
It's
you are going backwards first only.
Basically, you're sinking the void backwards into you.
Same thing. What is not a void? If you are going to go behind and look, what is there?
Mm-hmm.
What is there? It is, isn't it?
Behind would be the void too.
Same thing.
You are of the void.
Exactly.
Okay.
So wherever you look, left, right, center, wherever, it is going to be the void only. Where is it not going to be the void? I am only saying that those who are more visual, who want to see, for them I said that you bring the void to the idea is to guide them as a pointer, that you bring it downwards.
Yes.
And you sink there. So you can go like that also, the way you're doing. It's correct.
Yeah, but we have heard the term sinking backward into the void a number of times, and
sinking
it was
backwards.
Sort of a little bit vague as to what that concept actually was, but I think you've clarified that very nicely now. Thank you very much.
The idea is, Alan, is that sinking means relaxing. You have to understand. You have to completely let go of concepts even, of whether there is a void backwards, whether there is an I backwards. Everything has to go, finish. You are just relaxing. You're not allowing the mind to operate. And the best way to do is to go to that source. As I said, the source is the area of from where the I comes from. There, if you relax, you will meet the subject, that is I, automatically, provided you allow it. That allowing is sinking. That allowing is sinking, relaxing into that area. So whether you take void backwards, or you take I backwards, or you take void ahead, it is the same thing. Idea is to relax.
Or if you just sink into it, it's the same thing.
Same thing.
Okay, wonderful. That clarifies a lot of points. Thank you.
Hi, Rajiv. Um,
Hello.
hi. I have a question. I have been meditating for, I think, like 4 years, and I never forgot the message of Master Edgy last week that when he said, not to ask too many questions and don't pay attention to the experiences. But
Yeah.
because this experience it's been happening for a long time and then continuously, repeatedly, this thing has been happening. What you mentioned in your last satsang, and this has been happening since I almost said like 3 years. And see, with me, what happens is that Rajiv, when I meditate, most of the things, the vivid dreams, the dreams when you know that you're dreaming, or all these
Yeah.
experiences, they happen. They don't happen during the meditation. Most of the time in meditation, I'm getting images, I'm getting thoughts and everything. This happens just after I finish meditation and go to sleep and relax. But this happens like I am completely aware of what's going on. I'm
No, what
completely
happens?
aware. What happens is it is just like what you said last time, and I and that you're going somewhere like down, and but it doesn't feel like that it's in the heart. It's like I'm going down and going down like in some kind of like a very scary place, like it's like a
Yeah.
grave. It's like,
Yeah.
but when you reach there, it's like you're
Hmm.
going under the ground. But
Yeah.
when you reach there, it's a very
Finishes.
scary place. There's extremely darkness there. It's complete darkness,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
and then most of the time I
Yes.
stay there. I try to stay there, but then
It
I
doesn't.
can't
Mind
have
comes
it.
back.
Mind comes back.
Yeah.
When you told me, and this has been happening when I didn't know anything about causal body, or I read
Yeah.
autobiography, but this has been happening. But my question was that is this? I mean, I know it's not some kind of delusional state because it happens in the dream. I mean, in the sleep, but I'm completely
Yeah.
aware. I'm completely aware of what's happening.
Exactly. Exactly. Very good. That's good.
Yeah.
The thing is that you mentioned that it is not a heart. Again, I am saying the same thing. The heart is a concept from this area. That is not the heart. What you are experiencing is you are going through that heart only. That's all. As long as you are sinking downwards, it is the heart. Okay.
Yes.
Now, heart means self. As I said, now it is clear. Heart means the source from where everything arises. That is the heart. The real meaning of heart is that only. It is a self itself. So now when you are going downwards, you just remain there. Possibly if you can sink, you can sink. But just when you will have the experience of being aware of something extraordinary of the nothingness, the moment you are going to become that nothingness, before that, the mind will scare you. It will scare
Mhm.
you, frighten you too much.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
And that is a defense mechanism for the mind to come back into play. Just
Mm-hmm.
like how we have our own intelligence, which we call as survival instinct. The mind has its own survival instinct. It will try and scare you that you're losing yourself into
But
that bottomless pit,
mm-hmm.
almost like a abyss. You're going downwards, 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 downwards into that nothingness. Thing is, you're getting more subtler, and the mind does not allow you to become so subtle because that will cause the end of the mind itself. But I can tell you, Sharjil, this is the most difficult part of sadhana. If you
Yes.
can cross this ocean that you are experiencing, then for you the path ahead, for everybody, not only you, for everybody the path ahead becomes easier because you have to understand that beyond that lies infinite beauty, infinite joy. This is
Mm-hmm.
only to scare you,
It's
like
like
a
you're
screen
dying, like
saver.
you're dead.
Of course, you are dying because that is a concept, the death. The mind
Mm-hmm.
is telling you that you are going to die. That is the death of ego,
That's true.
closely related to the I-ness, that is individuality, is the mind. The existence of I-ness, your individual ego, depends upon the mind.
But
He has
Rajiv,
created you. Yeah.
Rajiv, last time it happened, I just did some experiment because when you are in subtle bodies and you have lucid dreaming. In the beginning, I used to have it like I'm going somewhere, but then after a while, after 6 months or a year, I could feel my physical body at the same
Yeah.
time that I'm dreaming. So then what I did was, so I did, but this, I didn't experiment it before, but last time I did it, what I did was that as I was going down, sinking backward in that darkness, when I went there, I stayed there, but then I tried to feel my body, physical body. And because it seems like you're going somewhere. It's like you're not here. You're going somewhere in the bottom of the
Yes.
earth,
Yes.
in somewhere a grave. So then I tried to feel my body and I tried to bring back and I said, oh, it's the same thing. It's just I'm not going anywhere. I'm here. I mean, it's just that. That's my mind.
Well, I can say you're going to the right place, but you're coming back to the wrong place. That is the body.
Yes.
So change your focus.
Yes,
Rather, you go where it has to go. The body is the wrong center. The body is the wrong center, the false center. The moment you are going to, because this is the security. See again, this is sense of security that I am there, the body is there, is given to you by the mind. Because it wants to survive. And it will survive by your body. Through your body. So he is bringing your attention back to your physical body. Rather, I would say, let it go. You see what happens to you. Anyways, after physical death, we have to go somewhere, no? Why not see now only?
That's true.
We have to leave the body, isn't it? Or the body has to leave us, whatever. But whatever it is, we are going to, this particular partnership of us and the body is going to break one day.
That's true.
So why don't we do it now and see? What is happening is your expanse, you are going subtle. And with everybody, I know it happened with me also. I'm not saying it is scary because the moment you start to become more subtler, the mind will interrupt. It cannot see that.
Thank you, Rajiv. Thank you so much. You clarified everything. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Very nice. Any question? Is Matthew clear?
Yes. Thank you. That's a great explanation. I like how you put it in the context of the different of Ramana and
Yes.
the different systems, and it's nice, very nice. Thank you.
This is what I said. It is experiential. The right side of has significance, and it is experiential only after the experience of Turiya, not before that. Before that, if you bring the right side, left side, we are creating problem for ourselves. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yes, yes. You said that to focus on the thinking or the beingness, and in a way, what you're saying is it's like when you're driving, just remember to keep your hands on the wheel and the steering and keep your foot on the gas. In other words, don't get too taken up about what's going on outside. You have to know what's going on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You will be aware of it anyways. When you're driving the car,
yes.
you will be aware which car is coming from where without really actually looking at it.
True, instinctively. Like
instinctively. So you have to trust your instinct more than anything else.
Right.
Practice is all about trusting instinct. It is automatically happening around you. Similarly, we have to do. But we have to not forget the car and the brakes. We have to apply the right brakes at the right time. It will be a problem.
Thanks, Rajiv.
Thank you.
Pranam, Rajiv.
Yes, go on, Jean.
When you spoke about intellectual, seeing visual, being visual, as maybe not using the correct word, but as opposed to heart-centered, for lack of a better word, devotional, bhakti.
Yes.
How does one know? How does can there be elements of both in one's practice? Just as a curiosity?
Surely. It depends. Which is more prominent in you? You can try both also. Ultimately, what I am trying to say is you are brought to this area of the heart that is near your chest. And you have to sink. As long as you are doing that, it doesn't matter which kind of seeker you are. So in the first kind, the devotion, they are brought directly here, near the heart. Whereas the second ones are kind of indirect. You're trying to force slightly, you bring it downwards. So the aim is and the goal is the same thing. You are retiring here on this area of the heart. That is the goal, and you're sinking there. That's it. So it doesn't matter what is more predominant or what is your. You have to be one pointed. That this you are going to bring all your attention of that beingness here, and you are going to sink from here. Ultimately, that is the way towards that beautified that I'm talking about, those indescribable joy which remains with you all the time. This is this is also I have to clarify that once you are having had an experience of that pure beingness or turiya, which we call, it never leaves you, not for a second. So it is not a glimpse. This is not your question, but I just recollected that I have to say this. So that is where you come to know that this is pure beingness. Because it always stays with you. That is a part of pure I amness, a nature of your self, the true self, which is joy. That is what you are. You are joy itself. So whether you call it joy, you call it love, you call it heart center, you call it self, everything is same. That's all. So depending on your happiness that you are getting, Jean, in your meditation, that joy that you are getting, you will know how you are advancing. The progress is based upon how much joy you are getting. How much detached you are getting from the world. And how much happiness is growing inside of you. That is a real symptom of practice, of good practice. These are all pointers. Come to this area, sink here. They are all pointers. But the real progress is where it becomes part of your life. Joy becomes part of your life. Happiness becomes part of your life. Nothing really disturbs you much. And so, as the joy increases, that happiness increases, it reaches to indescribable zones where you cannot contain it anymore. It flows, overflows. So when that happens, you know that self and you, there is no much difference in that. Of course, you're all the self only, but the realization is not very far away. Right?
Thank you. Very good. Thank you, Rajiv.
Thank you. Thank you.
My question is, and I asked you this before, I just wanted a little bit more clarification. Ed said I would keep asking and asking. He was right. He must be able to see the future. When I do my practice, I pay attention to my sense of presence, my sense of existence, And when I do that, sometimes it feels like it goes to the right. There's like a tension goes to the right of my chest, but it has nothing to do with the emotion of love or anything like that. It's just a feeling of being.
Exactly.
Okay, because I thought like that for the beingness to be concentrated on it had to be like the feeling had to be love or something, but mine's
No,
not.
no, no.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Those are all concepts again, love and all that. Love is self only. Heart is only love. Heart, joy is also self only. All those qualities, they diminish. They just go away after that, after some time. I'm saying whatever you are experiencing, whether whichever side your intuitively feelings are there, you have to sync there. Automatically things are going to get resolved
Okay.
on their own.
All right. That's great. Thanks, Rajiv. That's all. That was all I needed.
Okay. Great.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I think that was a wonderful clarification today, and for me, you clarified that we get tied up, the mind gets tied up in concepts and ideas, and we get more tied up in how to do something rather than just doing it.
Exactly.
And that we can get many ideas, many concepts, many names for basically doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And I think that really, I think you clarified that this is a lot easier and a lot simpler to do if we just focus on the core of actually doing it.
Exactly.
Rather than getting caught.
Exactly.
Rather than getting caught up.
Exactly. Exactly.
So that's wonderful. Thank you.
That is why I say
Thank you
that
very
reading
much.
should be banned. Too much reading should be banned. Because what is happening this only, someone picks something else from what one master says, and then they say this is what he said. Am I practicing correctly or not? Then doubt is going to come in your mind. But you see, only once you have reached the stage of the highest samadhi, all those things come and settle on its own. No one master is saying different from the other masters. They're all reaching to a point where all meet. But we are not seeing it yet.
Yeah.
And when we
it reminds me of the
yeah.
It reminds me of the game that we used to play in school where you would have 10 children lined up and you would have pass one of them a piece of paper with a little message in it, just a little one-liner.
Yeah.
And that student would read it, and then you take it away and you tell that student to tell the second one, and so on down the line. And so by the time it gets down to the 10th person, the message is totally different than what was on that piece of paper and the first one said to the second student.
Exactly. But the first one knows the message. Right?
Yes.
The first one knows the message. There you have to reach. There you have to reach. Where the first one knows the message. So be the first man. Come back to your pure beingness. Yes. That is the idea.
Thank you.
You have to put effort to bring that thinking about. Even though it is of the mind. But we have to put that effort initially to start off with that motion. Because so far we have only been looking outside. Now we have to make the effort to come within. After you have done it repeatedly times, you will know that it comes naturally to you. Then you don't have to put effort. So for some people, it becomes effortless already. Some people put the effort. Nothing wrong in putting effort. Please put effort where required. You're putting effort for a good thing. So put that effort and you will see it will become effortless on its own. It may also happen sometime that sinking is not happening only because you feel that you don't have to sink, you just feel like just being at that time. Just being. So no effort is required for that. You are just quietly sitting in relaxed manner. There is no sinking which is happening. You are relaxed. You have to understand that that is because of the fruit of sinking that you are able to relax. So you should not stop your effort. When it becomes effortless, automatically you will reach to a stage where everything is become very relaxed. That is a fruit. When you go to a temple, after we have prayed, we get what we call as prasadam. The prasad. Prasad means that small sweet which everybody gives. In churches also, I do not know if it's there, but in temples we have. Every priest gives us a prasad. That is prasad is what you enjoy after you have made the effort. It becomes effortless later. First, please put effort, everybody. There are different kind of pressure that you will feel. Sometimes you will feel on the chest area, like you are feeling. Some people will feel on top also, on the head, because it will become very concentrated. So whatever you will feel, you have to have one pointedness that you are going to only focus, pay your attention to your beingness and to the sinking. After that, whatever happens, let it happen. Your intuition will tell you whether you need to really focus downwards or you have to remain there, or whether it is that concentrated energy that is getting gathered, what you have to do in that case. Your intuition will tell you exactly when you reach to that. It will guide you further on its own. I can tell you that you must try and sink as far as possible. Various kinds of energies are going to get trapped either on the head or on the stiffness on the chest, whatever. You just relax and pay more relaxed you will get, the more it is going to get resolved sooner. One thing, very good again question, Matthew. The thing is that we have to, I said other day also, and I always say that this is worship. The beingness is worship. It's not a trade. We are not trading with divinity. That okay, I am going to put 2 hours a day. You got to give me bliss. Okay.
Right.
You're going to give me joy. You're going to give me turiya. It is not going to happen that way. It is only when you are selflessly involved in worship,
You're giving.
unconditional, then it will start to flower. So that expectation is all of the mind. The expectation that you have to reach somewhere, become something, that all is mind only. So we should not try, and as far as possible, I know it is difficult. Everybody expects that when he's sitting, he should get something out of it somewhere. Yeah, it's a habit. It's about our habit, our nature, how we have become. We do trade, we do business, we do everything with the intention of getting something. And the same thing we are reflected in our meditation also. But we don't understand that what we are doing in meditation is only reconnecting. A connection has got severed. That's all. We are reconnecting it. There's nothing to gain out of it as such. We are not going to gain something new. We are already that. Only thing we have not realized it. So rather we should just sit in our meditation without expecting much from here, and you will see automatically that cup of happiness within your heart will start to fill. It will grow so much on you that you will say, enough, I don't want any more bliss. That can also come.
Yeah. Okay.
That's why I said it will overflow. That time it will overflow. That is how divinity works. Consciousness works this way. You ask from consciousness. You ask anything from a consciousness, then you become a beggar. So you get like how beggars get, dimes. but you behave like a king, then consciousness rewards you like a king. So you have to just behave like you are not going to, you have got everything achieved already, and you're sitting only worshipping that achievement. Like that.
Nice. Yeah. Mm.
That much feeling you should have, not beg.
Mm. I like that. I like the worshiping.
Yeah, that's great.
Mm.
Thank you.